culture's attempt to review a Turkish rail network to see how it compares to my attempt at exploring the dan, tan suffix in Turkish. I started with a query looking for a rail network that carried close resemblance to Sydney because I was looking for a circular key of sorts. When I saw this map originally, I thought, oh yeah, this might do. It kind of looks a bit like circular key but upside down, and I could see that working as alright, you guys are in the northern hemisphere, let's just turn that upside down, and that reminds me of Clarendon up here, and the circular key would be over here. But in terms of physicalities, where this feels close to the Sydney CBD area, circular key, where you got the Marmara Sea over here, and that looks a bit similar to circular key, but I was disappointed with, it's only just a short network compared to the Sydney scape. Geographically, however, I'm okay with this. And when I see this, I am questioning, is this similar to Sydney Harbour? It looks like a harbour of sorts, and I'm just wondering, is the real estate in this area expensive? Is there a correlation in geography that makes cities or circular key sort of rail networks, does that ramp up the cost of housing somehow? I wasn't sure how to approach this in a structured way because it had to look at this map from a wider bird's eye lens to just scout loosely at the names, where part of the English Sydney City Rail exercise was about dealing with the decision-making tree for the suffix dan, from, of, because I'm dealing with English-esque words that are carrying different vowel harmonic systems. That's what was causing significant difficulty trying to process which way am I supposed to go. Is that a dun or a dan or a no, can't even do that. And there was experimentation with dan and dine, which is my equivalent of the Australis accented variants. I decided this would be a great exercise, the dan, tan suffix with station names that I'm completely unfamiliar with, just to see the flow of significant hiccup with the suffix. Just because I'm dealing with a lot of words that are carrying vowel patterns that are Turkic anyway. And so that's why I needed to do a broad sweep of just casually browsing through the names just to detect the Turkic quotient and hunt for any words that seemed left of center or register as being non-Turkic for me. And I did come across a couple. Was there a favorite? There was a couple where semantically it's fascinating. Why do people give names to places, and the names that they've come up with through an English lens is very amusing and funny and nonsensical, and that's what makes it interesting. I was gonna pencil in this one as a favorite, Darushafaka, and I'm not entirely sure how to intonate with that. Darushafaka. This is not registered as Turkish, but it feels related to whoever invented the word mutfak, Darushafaka. So yeah, when I saw that one, it made me laugh. I love it. And how would the Australis be saying that? The Rusha fucker. Yeah, so there was a desire to attempt Turkish pronunciation versus attempting how would the Australis tongue be handling these names as well, versus the need for a semantic evaluation. And I feel undecided, where do I start? Here was another interesting station called Halacıoğlu, son of a carpet maker. There was another strange one. This one, soğanlı. This is like onion-ish. This is a station carrying the quality of an onion. So I don't know if they grow onions. How is it that a suburb gets called onion-ish? There's another one, Zeytinburnu. Why is this one called olive nose? The nose of an olive. I'm not being negative. I find it fascinating that people name places with these paradigms that are left of center. Here's another one. Sarmacular. In my brain, I'm processing this like a sarmacular. So I'm not sure what a sarmal is. It's arabesque, but this sa is like milking something, extracting, milking. It's coming across as a town filled with people who milk things. And then there's the Kartal Tepe. Kartal. What's a kartal? Is that a cartel? And I know the tepe means like it's a peak. And what's a better word for peak? Maybe a summit or a zenith. It's a high point. Does that mean this has high elevation? And that's where I need to question it. Is this a mountain top? Each time the word ends with a tepe, is that telling me it's carrying elevation? There's a need for me to question that, and I'm feeling self-conscious that I'm sounding long-winded, but I actually need to go through this wave just to explore what sorts of fundamental elements am I needing to navigate when I am presented with this data set here, which is very rich and complex with a lot going on. There's a need for me to break down its elements and record the process of how am I relating my present day life experience, where I am viewing this from the lens of what is already familiar to me. Here's another one. Fındıklı. This one's communicating it's nutty, carrying the quality of nuts. There were quite a few others. Yeah, this one, shishhane. When I see the word shish, I see it like the kebab skewer, and this hane is like a place for kebab skewers, place of the kebab skewers. Shish also communicates to get bloated, to get fat. So I don't know if it's a place where people often get bloated. Here, topçular. What the hell? This top registers as a ball, and the chu signals it's related to the profession of a ball, like a soccer player, and the la is the pluralizer. And so when I see topçular, I see soccer players. When I saw this Ivan Saray, this registered as, is this a place for animals? Because when I see Ivan, my brain is registering where did the H go, and did the H get dropped? I am perceiving at some point there could have been a H there, and I know the Saray is another form of this tepe or hane. It's indicating some kind of a suburb or a town, or it's a category of sorts, but I don't know how to map. Is that a suburb? Is that a village? Is that a town? Especially where in the Sydney City Rail, all of these stations are categorized as suburbs. So I don't know the difference between a saray, a hane versus a tepe. I just know that the tepe is to do with a peak, whereas the hane seems to infer things like hospitals, libraries, because of hastane versus kütüphane. And it's also, when I see the hane, it's feeling Persian. And so I don't know if the hane is, yeah, this is me, she just said hane, and that's wishing to switch into the Australis Vowelscape, Galatasaray. And then we've got these meydans as well. What's the difference between a meydan, a saray, a hane, and a tepe? There is awareness of different classifications regarding type of place, but I don't know the word for the broad classification set. What do you call that? Town, village, city, these labels that we use to discern different types of environments. Upon what grounds did these words get invented? And that makes me need to go into the etymology to understand and make deeper sense of it, just because of this frustration I carry, and it amplifies how I was forced to receive language at face value. It was the basis of, oh, it's because everybody's doing it. It was just fashion. It never went into the depth of meaning and why is it so. Needing to question that would often be met with some form of frustration, or don't even go there. Just accept it just is what it is, and you just gotta live with it. This was another interesting place. Çin deresi 300'lü. What the hell is this about? Because when I say Chin, I see it's a China river. And why is it three-faced? That's a double China river, but why are they calling it three-faced? That's processing in my brain on that one. And I just noticed here we've got Bağcılar meydan, where it terminates at the dun. But there was another dun station where it's meydanı, where upon trying to apply the suffix dan to a meydanı, which didn't terminate at an N. Oh, there you go. This place, ok meydanı. Another element that was very frustrating for me is the frequent compounding of words, where I feel that really needed to be two separate entities, not merged into one, and there was lots of that going on. That's going on with the saray is a separate concept, same with hane, same with tepe. It's a separate word like lighthouse. And because they get compounded together, we have the problem of, do I pronounce that lighthouse similar to telephone, or is that a telephone? There's going to be words where, because of the convention that taught us this PH is an F, there's going to be instances where, am I supposed to F that, or is that two separate entities? Back to this meydanı. I'm not okay with how it didn't terminate at the end. So when I'm trying to add my dunki suffix to say I come from this suburb, I would have to say ok meydan, and that's where that dun is an issue, because the tan thing, this word is already carrying the ten, and the word meydan, what does that mean? And for me, the way it is mapped, it's a meyit, tan. I'll just say tan for now. This meydan, it's feeling like that was a truncation of meyit, a variant of this, which for me registers as a corpse, a body, and that's how it becomes a place from of that which has bodies in it. That's how it becomes a word like public, where the word public is carrying that sort of a picture for me, even though it's not inherent in a word like public, but maybe it could be, because I don't know enough Greek and Latin to cherry pick it. But this meydanı, my journey with English carried similar at that face level value. We just accepted these compounded words as singular entities, but a lot of these words were made up of multiple things coming together and getting glued together, just as it's being glued here. Like even here, Osman Bey, the Bey is a way of addressing a male, like a mister, but it's fused together as one. And köy, it's another one of these. Meydan, saray, hane, tepe, köy. There's probably going to be other versions. And the mahalle is another one, and that registers Arabic. I'm not sure how Persian, but I'm detecting Southwest very strongly through the al. This one registers as foreign. Pierre Loti. What the hell is this? It sounds very French. This is a foreign, and this is foreign too. Foreign. This is foreign too. Darul la ceze. That's feeling Persian. Here's a hastane issue with the word hastane, because it's another truncation in my head, because I register the word hasta as being sick, and the hane is the building to take care of it. It was a hastahane. For me, it has to be a hastahane. And the same with this is kütüphane, is a kitaphane. Kütüphane is a kitaphane. So that means whoever came up with the word kütüphane was pronouncing the word kitap as a kütüp. And then the fashion decided they're called kütüphanes instead of kitaphanes. Well, this is me processing it with the logic that I'm carrying as a 4-year-old kid. Another one of these. Kule. What's a kule? I don't know what a kule is. I just know that pamuk kale, kule. That's how that registers. It's another one of these sorts of things. I need to learn what these different forms mean. It's not critical, but from a geography perspective, I do carry a need to get acquainted with those. Geoforms. Acıbadem. What's that? A sour almond. A bitter almond? Why are you calling it that? I didn't know what to make out of Bostancı. When I saw this, it felt like a professional New Yorker, Bostancı, and I'm not sure if that could have been a Boştancı or a Bostancı, someone who's at the start of something. Bostancı. What's a Bostan? What's a boss? I don't know what a boss is. I thought maybe it's a bus or a bush. Boştancı, like a leader. Yeni Sahra. This is Arabic Persian with the ra. There's another bloody onion station. What the hell? Soğan look. The state of what was it? Soğan look. So what's the difference between a soğan look and a soğan look? It's like that's the state of being onionified versus onionly-ish. Why are they calling stations onions? Try some more semantic breakdowns. Is another compound. Gül suyu. This is rose water. Huzur evi is another compound. Peace house. Peace home. Küçük yalı. This one I am not quite sure how to process that. I know that means small, and I'm not sure if yalı is this another one of these tepehane sarais versus yalı is küçük yalı. I don't know if I'm supposed to process this as a quality of being small-ish. If the name of the station here, Türkürüğüik, was small, in English it would need to be small-ish-ish or small-ish-ishly. And here I had issue trying to process this because my brain immediately went cozy and I couldn't go, no, it's not a cozy, it is a koz yatağı. I don't know what a koz is, but yatağı means it's the bed of this koz. It's a bed. What's a cause? Is that a göz? The bed of sight? The bed of an eye? It sounds like that's cause was supposed to be a göz. Oh, this one's exotic. Çeşme. Is this like a fountain? Söğütlü. I don't know what a söğüt is. What's a söğüt? That's foreign. It doesn't exist in my vocab at all. This was interesting. Fikirtepe. This is the zenith of ideas. Fikir is like an idea, the summit of ideas. This one I wasn't sure how to break it down. I just saw un, which means vowel, and then I broke it down like that. Is olan is someone who takes vowels, and I'm not sure if there is a word like unal, which almost sounds like a tunnel, tunal, and then that raised the issue of how in the Australis tongue, because of this tongue is carrying the need for an intrusive y. Yunalan, 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 yunalan. I don't know how to pronounce it, and it's carrying, is there some arabesque Persiatic going on just because of the L? Here, just to reiterate, that is like the word ute for the car, as in utility truck. Forgot, is that double L or what? The brain has been hogwashed with the dogma of spelling it like this, but my mouth has been unconscious of how, but out of my mouth I'm saying ute. It's a utility, not an utility, and we don't call these oots. I experience discomfort with a word like this, starting with oo. The dogma in the mouth is like, you need this as a crutch to get there. Starting with it is not feeling right, not feeling 100%, and that's the same as what happened with this one here. Ayvan Saray felt like it needed a H. I'm curious, is there a zoo nearby? I wouldn't know, probably not. For another confirmation, I am currently at turkeyfromtheinside.com. I need to work out, there is a record here saying in 1453 this area served as a private zoo and then a brothel. In 1719 it was turned into a kiln which made pottery until the end of the century, and it's now being converted into a museum where they currently just tell the story about the pottery. I will try to process the dan suffix. Kartal'dan, and that's where not okay here with the RT. It's like, yeah, it really needed to be an L, not an R. Kartal, done. Kartal, 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 done. I have to roll the R, that's the only way I can get through. So I'm looked on. That went into a T, looked, and that's bridging with my KT phenomena quirk. When it ends with a K, it goes into a hard T instead of a D. So I'm looked on, and I do a double tap. Hastane, adliye, dan, and to know is the Azeri backwards E, dan, and here we have the dogma of typewriters because I can't do it quickly in Kyrill. This is critical, this vowel. It really needs to be identified separate to the straightforward E. Feeling self-conscious, I have to annotate instead of just shooting through all of the stations. I just gotta accept this is the first pass. Esen, Kahn't, tan, uncertainty, because this is not registering as Turkish completely either. Kahn't is coming across as another, what the hell is that? Esen, ike, this one is a foreign obstacle perceived. Gül suyudan, huzur evden, mal tepeden, küçük yalıdan, bostancıdan, and there I noticed this impacted my rhythm. Koz yatağından, yeni sahradan, that's Arabeskça, sahra, and I have trouble with the ah, there's pain there. Saraudan, yeah, because it's ending with that A vowel, trouble there. Göz tepeden, I want to say yün alandan, alandan, uzun çayırdan, acı. This one, I had problem with this, yes. I can break this compound, acıbadem, but I had a problem because I also recognize acıba, which is an expression of something like, I wonder if, from of my questioning, I wonder if. That conceptually as the name of a station. From of my, I wonder if contemplation station. The station known as from of my contemplation, something like that. Ayrılık çeşmesi, and here is like, why is that not spelt with a double L? I need two L's, and we have the W intruding. I will look. W. There is a twister here. Ayrılık. I prefer to call them the flexor-fluxor-mitosis. I'm not okay with the metathesis because that says jack fuck nothing compared to flexor-fluxor-mitosis. It's kind of got flickety flick flicks. I also call them twisters. And then I got distracted where semantically ayrılık is in a state of separation, and this is a fountain. Çeşmesi is like a fountain or a tap. So why did they call this place a tap which separates? Is it actually separating something? Is this a fountain that's separating? Is this a place where people often announce their breakups? It makes me question, why did you name it like that? And also question, are there other trajectories in the semantics that may be communicating something else that I'm not conscious of? So for the sake of trying to do a straight run of the dandan, dondunki complex, without any interrupting side commentaries as I just did, I'm gonna try to do a straight run. Tepe there, this is a yolu, this is a road. Fener yolu. Fener brakes. Is that car brakes? The road of car brakes goes tepe. Alright, see, there's a reason why the semantics are calling out for me. How do I do this smoothly? Fener yoludan, göz tepeden, Eren köy, dandan here, köyden, Eren köyden. That was caused by a compound issue, Eren köyden. But when I use the trajectory, Eren köy, dandan, yeah, uncertainty, because the brain is not accustomed to processing this sort of a combination as two separate entities. When I see these words, it's fused as one. I just tried to do a straight run and already distracted by the just because I did the dandan dondunki up here. Let's try to start again. Fener yoludan, göz tepeden, Eren köyden still done. It's still there. I need to dock as a ambiguous complicator. It sits as an outsider. It's not from of my core. This word, suadiye, foreign, suad, arabesque. Failed. Let's try again. Fener, joludan. I want to say joludan, not yoludan. Fener, joludan, göz tepeden. Eren köyden, dundunki, suadiye'den, dundunki, bostancıdan, küçük yalıdan, küçük yalıdan. Prosody problem. How do I rhythmically get through that? From of a small lick. Küçük yalı, a small lick versus smallish işli. Failed again. Fener yoludan, göz tepeden, Eren köyden, dundunki, Suadiye'den, Bostancı'dan, küçük yalıdan. What the fuck ide Altepe? What the fuck is that? Ideology Zenith? Yeah, this is really bad for me. That's not Turkish. That's foreign. I don't know if that's trying to say ideal tepe. Ideal. Fuck you. This one is sounding foreign again. Süreyya. Plajıdan. Mal. Tepeden. Cevizli'den. Take note that E swung to the den a bit more than an N. Başak'tan. Yunus'tan. Is this a dolphin? They got a station called Dolphin. Is this a Yunus? Is that a dolphin?
Birkaç metreyle Yunus balık Olimpiyaları kepe uçtu o restorana kadar cihanın sonunda.
Kaynarca'dan, Pendik'ten, Yakacık'tan, Dantan, Kartal'dan, denye. A is a complicating neutral. Yeah, problem with that. Kartel'den. This is a fault line. Kartal. Because it's ending with that al. So I completely failed at trying to straight speak because the brain is getting interrupted by processing fault lines and hiccups that are penetrating and very intrusive, very irritating, frustrating, because the experience of running into words like this one, ideal, this is, what the hell is this fucking shit here? This is coming across as modern fucking shit, modernism, and this Sureya, even said that wrong, Sureya, Süreyya plajı, and this plajı is another, is that a place? Plajı, I'm not sure what a plajı is, like a plaza? Yeah, plaza. That's probably a plaza. Plajı, plaza, plajı, plaza, plajı, plaza, plajı. Am I right? I don't know yet. I think it's a plaza. What makes a plaza versus, these food courts and stuff like that? These sorts of categories of different types of spaces with different names. Why do they have different names? And that just makes me want to go into a geo-terminology adventure of the etymology of these concepts through English versus needing to process the Turkic versions of it to see if that would give me insight on, they called it like this because of this and that. I completely failed at trying to do a straight read run, and there was a need to also attempt the Australian vowel sets of how do we pronounce these words, how do we pronounce it, because that trajectory will also provide deep insight into the prosody rhythmics that are unquestionably from of the Australis, and that's what makes it very difficult to speak the accent because it is so dependent on rhythm specific nuances, and that requires a different method of breaking down these words into different parts and then processing them with the rhythm of the locale, such as banana instead of the banana.
Bir tane ödünce yayçın olacaktı.
Başlatma şimdi ödüncay.
Bir tane ödünce yayçın olacaktı.
Başlatma şimdi oduncu. Baraka Türkürüğüik, manabaka sabi.
Ben bırakacağım halayla. Öğlenleyin yakamı bırakmıyorlar. Ülkemi bile giriyorlar.
Baraka Türkürüğüik, manabaka sabi.
Ben bırakacağım halinde. Onlar benim yakımı bırakmıyorlar. Uykumu bile giriyorlar.
And these different rhythms is the fashion, but the written word is not carrying the emphasis and it's not taught. The rhythms are not actively taught, we are just subconsciously acquiring them through osmosis, and that was my experience at school. My mother did mention in her day in Turkey, she did experience lessons which were about trying to teach rhythms. And I'd say it had something to do with how to break down these strings of letters into classifications, which would be similar to trying to teach children what syllables are. That's what happened in English, is the syllableism. They didn't actually teach how to do that at all, and that was complicated. By my awareness made me aware, no, there's more than one. That's why I've got a hang up with the word sword. Yeah, let's go. Sword. My school environment would classify that as one syllable, but I'm seeing at least 2 to 3 because of this W is pronounced as a oo. So that was a sword, a sword. But here is like there's your third syllable in there. Sword. So how many syllables is that? So it's getting closer towards 5 there. Yeah, of course it's like how you pronounce it. However, this is shaped by my awareness of another tongue that is complicating how the brain is calculating. And that's me trying to process the word through the Turkic pathway. Sword. It's going to swing towards a T. Sword. Similar to salt. Sort. Yes. That is a sort. Sort. Is that a sort? Or are you just happy to see me? Sword. I like the shape of your sword. Sword. Went flying with the fairies there. I think I'll just leave that there. Let's just leave that there as an anomaly that had to be because it just happened anyway. There was a need to try and attempt the Australis vowelscape, where I feel these sorts of exercises really do require me to structure and be selective with the names, where I do need to cherry pick some samples of names, create my own vowel network to just process them in a sequence, because there is a need to kick out that which identifies itself as an outright foreigner, doesn't belong in my soundscape because I never grew up with it. It's important for me to dock that which unquestionably is an outright foreigner. And it doesn't matter whether or not is that Turkish, no, that's inconsequential. It's about my tongue, my family, where perhaps my parents will know a lot of words that I classify as foreign, but the reason why they are foreign to me is because they never existed in the family home. They never existed in my life. That's why they are outsiders. I have not osmosed with them. That's why they stand out like a black and blue blunt, what the hell, it doesn't even sound remotely like a close cousin, versus being able to discern, geez, the English is truly starting to penetrate into the vernacular, etc. Especially through technology. Technology seems to be a very dominant intrusionator in language, with stuff like televisions and mobile phones, etc. I'm not sure how it's being integrated in other cultures. Like in Chinese, do they say mobile phone? Is there some kind of mobile, or is there another word being used? All of these new inventions that evolved after the 1950s, there was a need to at least attempt some Australis, but I feel uncomfortable right now because I really do have a need to curate. Let's just start with Karadeniz, Karadeniz. Yeah, that's really awkward. Tashköp. trouble with the PR. And I need to question, is there another Turkic tongue where the word for köprü is more towards like a köpür instead of köpür? Something PR is recognized as a flexor fluxomatosis. It's a twister. See, she's already distracted. Sorry, I can't do it. Tascopru, Tashkopi, Tashkopi. Why is it swinging into the wall? Ali Fuat Bashkil. This Fuat is a fuck off. That's not Turkish. I know this is the name of a person. It makes me curious, why did they name this station as such? Is there a story behind a person who occupied the area? Bosna, is that like Bosnian? Çeşmesi. Çeşme, no. Çeşme. What's that? A pothole fountain? Bosna. Çeşme. Bosna. Çeşme. Ali Fuat Baskil. Samolcular. No, can't do it. It requires practice and calibration. It requires me to iron out all of this foreign shit. Sorry, I'm not meaning to be derogatory. When I say foreign shit, I mean these are foreign intrusions that have made life brutally fucking difficult for my tongue, which is the equivalent of what my name sounds like to many people, and that's not a good way to grow up whatsoever. It's fucking toxic. So I need to step back and consolidate all of this. I feel disappointed. I couldn't go dun dan dun dunki. I couldn't just go shoot bang bang bang. Karadeniz'den, Taşköprü'den, dan Ali Fuat Başkil'den, Bosna Çeşmesi'nden. I want to say Sinden. Why can't I just go Medden? Sağmacılardan. That's because of semantic issues of what the fuck where you got ok meydanıdan, ok meydandan, ok meydan, ok meydan, dan, dun ki. And that's why I end up with lazım doy doy is the same as this ok meydan dana, ok meydanıdan, dan, dun, dan, ok meydandan, but you keep the there. Excuse me. Alright, so that's my frustration coming out. A lot of tension, a lot of aggro, a lot of pain. It's deeply fascinating to take a look at. The semantics is what makes this fascinating. Why the hell did you call these stations as such? What is the story behind them? Like, what's with this Taşköprü? This is a rock bridge. Why did you call this a Black Sea? Is there an actual sea there? The frustrating part is how I am perceiving so much foreign intrusion here. Excessive foreign intrusion, where this is the result of me not osmosing with this land, but for other people living in these areas, these different suburbs would be everyday day. People would be used to these sounds, and they would be identifying them as being Turkish, Türkiyenli. But for me, I feel acute tension because of, I'm sorry, this is not Turkish. This is a very mixed up cross-cultural mishmash. What I can acknowledge is it is without question from of this place, specific to from this area. I can accept that it is what it is. I feel it offers fantastic stories, fantastic insight. It's coming across as a culture that has truly mixed about a lot with many different types of strokes. So in the meanwhile, I've highlighted the ones that popped out at me. I feel I need to chill and reflect on what the hell just happened. I feel disappointed I couldn't dun dunki through a straight passage, and this becomes an account of all of the obstacles I had to tackle. It becomes an account of the different levels of language processing issues that needed to step in and question.
Her intonation worried me much at the beginning. I can't put it into words how it is. It used to be when she's reading a long sentence, the intonations very indifferent, you know, to stresses.
Didn't seem impressed.
No.
Bir şiir daha var, okuyayım mı? Yeter!
Adım Ayşe. Gel yüzüme.